Well, sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to the only show out there that dares to ask the question, who are these broadcasters? Each and every week, we're going to bring you the best clips of news, local news, sports, politics, and everything else. And don't worry about the politics. Our only agenda is what makes us laugh. And fortunately for all of us, there are terrible people and terrible broadcasters on both sides of the aisle. I am Christian Bladt, joined by Karl Hamburger. And when I first signed on for this show, I thought I was going to be third mic to Tukey. So imagine my surprise that we have the one, the only, Mr. Eric Zane here on the show with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, I'm happy to settle for Eric Zane personally, Christian. I don't know why you have to be so mean about that. Now, I want to point something out. This is the first show that the name is actually grammatically correct. Who are these broadcasters is the right way to ask that question. Did we fuck this up?
I think we might have. There were a few people who said, in fact, you and I had gone back and forth. Oh, should it be who are these broadcasts to be symmetrical with who are these podcasts?
Right.
And then, of course, you know, your fans are always so kind with their criticism. They're like, you idiots, it should be who are these broadcasts? But it is asking the question, who are these broadcasters?
Yeah, and also, once a jingle gets recorded, that's it. It's in the books.
Yeah.
At that point, it's out of my control. Nothing else that
Doug
we can do
from the
about
Jingles department is old one take Doug from what
That's
I
right.
understand. Yeah, so there's no going back.
But he does crush it, and he's got us some brand new jingles for our first episode, and I'm really excited that you guys are both joining me today for this. We're going to start out in sports, and these jingles are nuts. I got to be honest with you.
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-B, who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out, who are these sportscasters?
Yeah! Are you excited or what? That's my buddy Eddie Nebula from my band Buzzmeyers. He recorded that from his FedEx truck using a cell phone.
It's not bad. Actually,
Not bad.
love
It
that.
works. It works.
So the first clip we're going to have is actually the first one that we shared when we did our little our little brainstorming meeting. We talked about this clip from I almost called them the Indians, a Guardians White Sox game, and things got interesting between White Sox shortstop Jose Ramirez and the Guardians third baseman. Actually Anderson is the, so I already forgot so this is why I don't do play-by-play.
Jesus Christ, get it together.
I know exactly. But the important thing is the great Cleveland radio broadcaster Tom Hamilton is on this phenomenal call of this little fracas.
Head first slide, safe and in to score is Jimenez. And another hustle double. Right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson. Head first slide.
Brilliant call right there.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Was it though? Was it? I mean, I hate to be contrarian, but I mean, he ripped it off Howard Cosell. I mean, who gives a shit, right?
I believe the word you're looking for, Eric, is homage. And you don't get a lot of occasions in baseball because whenever there's, I'm using air quotes, fight in baseball, it gets broken up before anybody comes anywhere near. That's why the Nolan Ryan Robin Ventura clip is one of the best ever, because he charges the mound and 60-year-old Nolan Ryan's like, all right, I guess this kid wants a beatdown. And, there's not nearly enough physical contact in baseball anymore. So I think that Tom Hamilton was just celebrating the fact that he could do something like that.
That was a lucky right hook. If you watch the replay, Ramirez just kind of swinging haphazardly and makes contact with the face. And like Eric Zane is showing us right now, just head down, punching into the air in front of him. And I have to say, why is it like hockey players are the only pro athletes in this country that can fight? If you look at basketball, are the worst. When they get into fights, it's embarrassing looking. They have no idea how to fight. Baseball's not
let's
great.
not forget
Football,
about Yeah, let's not forget about soccer players, although you did say athletes, but soccer players, they're more actors than anything else. You know,
That's
they
true.
get sneezed on and then you think that they pulled a hammy.
There was also another view of Anderson, and Ramirez, I'm not kidding you, barely hit his jaw. This guy had a glass jaw, and he went down. And not only did he go down, but when he got up and tried walking, he was all like wobbly, like Ric Flair, and when he's acting and wrestling. It was remarkable how much damage that wild punch did to that guy.
Everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the face, right?
Yes, I guess.
Usually how it goes.
Yeah. Our second clip, we're going to stick with baseball, and anybody who's familiar with the city of Philadelphia, I think knows that people who live there are very opinionated, and they will share those opinions with you. Tom McCarthy and the great John Kruk are very aware of what the crowd is saying in this clip. And I guess you can leave it there in the background, but they shouldn't comment on it if you want to give a listen to our second clip here.
Oh, I got the same link. I mean, un momento, por favor.
Talk amongst yourselves.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Talk
fun to watch
amongst
that.
yourselves.
It's fun to watch that slide again.
No,
anyway.
this is beautiful. Yes, absolutely.
Depending on the matchup.
I don't know what they're saying, Tom, but if you want to repeat it, go ahead.
I don't know if I have to repeat it.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say right there, it kind of sounded like you suck to me. Am I wrong about that?
No, I don't think so, Carl. Yes, you are. You are wrong, Carl. It's
okay.
completely wrong.
I think they were actually saying Kruk likes rump, which is something that we've all heard about him over the years anyway. Obviously, we're talking lady rump. I don't need John Kruk looking for me anywhere. But
He's on a piazza.
There was it was beautifully played though by Kruk, and then Tom McCarthy says, "I don't think I have to." It's so perfectly in their headphones. I mean, I love it whenever they do acknowledge something like that. It's so much better than just pretending like you can't hear it, or maybe just you can hear them cracking up at what they're hearing, or they're purposely not talking so that message can get out there.
Yeah, and we'll have a clip in a little bit of announcers whose jobs probably depended on them not acknowledging what the crowd is chanting. We've got a few more baseball clips. So our clip number 3. Now, this show's obviously not Sports Center. We're not going to play great clips just for the sake of seeing a great play. But the call from Masson Orioles TV announcer Kevin Brown is relevant to what we're about to talk about. If we can go with clip 3. It's a game-saving play Friday night in Seattle.
6-1 Norfolk win over the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Rant into center field. Hit well. Hit deep. Mullins!
He got it! He
cannot be serious!
Oh, my gosh!
He cannot have just done that!
Oh.
He cannot have just done that!
That ball was over the fence.
Yeah, that's basically the part that we need.
Yeah. By the way, that was singly one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think in the next inning, that guy hit a home run. It was an unbelievable game as that thing unfolded. But Kevin Brown, he's fantastic. That guy, he sounds like a brighter version of Joe Buck, you know?
Well, he's actually got a good team to root for finally. It's been a while, so he's probably pretty amped up this year. The Orioles are in first place.
Yeah, so very good.
Who would have saw that coming? Oh, I always want to thank YouTube censorship. Oh, God, don't take that out of context. Thank you, YouTube censorship, for $2. The best opening theme song in podcasting, the end. Agreed, sir.
And
Agreed.
thank you for being our first super chat. But,
yes.
Carl, I don't know if you know this, but I'm fairly sure that we need to check and see if the super chats for $5 or more are working. Right. We don't know if they're working.
Yeah,
yet,
no,
but
Cardiff just told me it's not working. He tried to do it. Tukey's telling me $20 doesn't work. I don't understand what's going on.
All right. Well, David Chandler, if you're watching, just you give it a try and we'll see.
He can usually figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. He's the one guy. Him and Nasty Al. So look, in that clip, it's all well and good now, and we're talking about Kevin Brown. But he got a lot of attention last week. and he spent some time on the IL, as it were. He was suspended for what were clearly some very controversial and Karl, I think some downright spicy comments that he made. If
this is crazy. I can't believe he thought he could get away with this. Yeah. Guys, listen closely.
For the Orioles, Brandon Hyde has felt like this has been maybe the toughest ballpark to play in, but the Orioles have a chance to do something special today. They've already clinched at least a split in the series, winning 2 of the first 3, and they could pick up a series win behind Tyler Wells today. It's been a minute. The Orioles split a 2-gamer with the Rays in June. They had lost their last 15 series here at Tropicana Field. You have to go back to when our now colleague Brad Brock picked up the win in the series finale June 25th, 2017, the last time the Orioles won a series here at St. Pete. Already got 3-2 at the Trop this year after winning 3 of 18 the previous 3 years combined. It is a stark difference, Ben, and it is not a bad Rays team. It's not like all of a sudden the Rays became slouches in the American League East.
Now, is it a secret that the Orioles have been terrible for the last 7 years? No one knew about this?
Eric, I know you work in the world of professional sports. I'm sure that, all the time people are getting fired over comments that are even more tame than this, right? I mean, this is some pretty outrageous stuff to talk about how your team was bad and is good now.
No, it's ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as those fucking shirts. And the fact that Kevin Brown looks like he's 18 years old, too. Jesus Christ, does he need a work permit? Look at that guy. Holy shit.
I don't know. I love the cartoon bird logo. Agree to disagree.
I do too. I mean, I like it, but it's
better on a hat. I agree.
Well, the manager wears the uniform, the third base coach, the first base coach. Why wouldn't they have the announcers just wear the full uniforms as well? Like, just go for it all. That'd be fun.
God damn. No, this was ridiculous from the start, and it seemed like the rest of baseball, every announcer that does this was ready to jump on board and just want. I mean, this was a huge deal. Announcers don't even get pissed off when players like beat up their wives, but if this happens, holy shit, man, look out, the floodgates are open.
Oh, he literally just ran through some stats. They have not had good luck down in Tampa for the last 7 years. He ran through the stats, and I guess the owner, no one really knows, but he was suspended by the Orioles for this. Let me just get through some super chats real quick. YouTube censorship, $5. They work. Yes, they do, YouTube censorship. That's good news. Mike Cuts with $20. Is it working, Karl? Seems to be working, but you never know. You can't be too careful on that. Chad's Black Eye coming in with $5. Just making sure the $5 super chat are working correctly. Love the new show, Skull Boys. Cheers to you, Chad's Black Eye. And Rick U, 32, $25. Sports Ball. Karl, you've betrayed your fans. We thought you were a Star Wars loving nerd. Why can't it be both?
Yeah.
Why can't it
come on,
be
baseball's the nerdiest of all the sports. There's so many
That's true.
stats and facts and historical things to remember. We
Can you
welcome
tell me,
everybody here.
Thank you for that. And can you tell me if this comes through?
And then I get fucked by 2 dudes.
Sure did.
This is real life shit, and I'm walking that fucking walk. I got fucked by 2 dudes while I was walking around my neighborhood today.
So got Zumach on the board, huh?
That was perfect. Unedited. I haven't touched that. It was
Eric
that's what he
Zane,
said.
You're going to be surprised to learn this. That was all a lie. Can you believe that? Chad was saying stuff, but it wasn't true.
What?
I know.
Huh?
Shocking
Chad?
stuff.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
All right. Before we get too far away from this, so we're still talking about this 12-year-old who was giving some stats before the game. And so he was suspended, and the Oriole fans are not happy about this.
Yeah, but this is what I alluded to earlier. Is this is the Orioles broadcast? So the guys who are filling in for him don't comment on what they're clearly chanting.
Right. Yeah. So this is the local broadcast. The guys who are taking over while he's suspended.
Run.
Made it look easy. Good athletes can do that, Devo. You did.
I think that's one of the best defensive plays in the game of baseball.
Like going over the wall and making the pitcher happy?
Yes. Hey, you always got to make you guys happy.
Mateo tried to hold his swing, and he did, according to Edwin Moscoso.
There's so little to talk about during a baseball game.
Yep.
This would be one thing that would be interesting to talk about, and they just ignore that the entire stadium is chanting "Free Kevin Brown."
I've been in a spot where I've been suspended, and then the rest of the hosts are threatened with their jobs if they speak of it. That's what happened here.
Yes.
I can guarantee you. It's all like, if you say anything, you are out. And
I wish there was a camera in the booth so that we could see their eyes bugged out, like mouthing to each other, like, what do we do? And like, just ignore it. You know, I mean, because they're clearly like, yeah, we're going to just have to pretend we don't, I don't even have an opinion.
Hey, Baltimore, you will never have an interesting announcer ever again. Just say it out.
Right. Can you imagine if they accidentally pan to there and they're not saying anything, but they're like leading the chant and pumping their fists?
Signs that they're holding up.
They're like mouthing it.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Well,
so let's see how the national.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Orioles front office, this game was also, it aired nationally on TBS, and Brian Anderson did notice what they were saying, so they did comment on it.
And the chants of Free Kevin Brown raining down. The Orioles television play-by-play announcer. I love this fan base standing behind their announcer. If you don't know the story, Kevin Brown made some extremely benign comments, was not even critical, but somebody in upper management, many believe it is the owner, made a decision to take him off the air.
What are the chances it was Kevin Brown bobblehead night? And that had to suck for the organization.
Sorry, go ahead, please.
That's okay. The Orioles broadcast forgot to show those Free Kevin Brown signs in the stands.
I know they
just didn't. I'm sure they just didn't see them. I'm sorry, Eric. What were you gonna say?
No, I would just say every announcer to me always sounds like Brock Meyer, and especially in baseball, it's always like in baseball. The second they get into that booth, there's a Free Kevin Brown, and I love how they take their time because there's so much time to fill during a game.
It does seem like an easy gig, doesn't it? Like, I've literally heard. So usually I don't watch the national games. I watch the Cubs. So they're just on Marquee in Chicago, and they're talking about what was on the breakfast buffet that morning. They're talking about the most innocuous crap. Right. Of course, now the game's gotten a little faster, so it's a little bit better now. But it seems like an easy gig.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of time for your personality to shine. I'm a Mets fan, and there's nothing better than a game that's going into extra innings when Keith Hernandez clearly has dinner reservations, and if it gets around the 14th inning and he's not even going to be able to, he's just so angry. He's just like, "Oh, come on already."
That's great.
Well, let's leave baseball in the rearview mirror, and we're gonna have some regulars on this show, and I want to introduce to some of the non-sports fans out there somebody who you might know. His name's Colin Cowherd, and here Colin gives a list of quarterbacks that have absolutely no chance of winning the Super Bowl this season. None, no chance. Let's give a listen.
Colin's got some hot takes. This guy,
hot takes.
I like Colin Cowherd.
And then the third category is 20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not –
Okay, spoiler. Dwayne Haskins has passed away. He was hit by a dump truck or something crossing the street. And why do the white people are mad? He's right. He has no chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, everybody's entitled to their opinions on sports, but this is a fact. He will not win a Super Bowl this year. Colin's right.
Sure.
There's all sorts of fucked up here, because if anyone was listening and they right away heard that and went, "Oh," Colin then starts to trip up here, but he's not tripping up because he's just announced dead guy's name. He's tripping up
Colin,
because the graphic is all fucked up.
Yeah,
which he'll reveal that.
Yeah, that it says can win Super Bowls. It's can't win Super Bowls. Okay, so 6 stars, 4 high-end starters, and 20 guys that can't win a Super Bowl.
He doesn't have the staff that he used to have, does he?
Right. I'm surprised it doesn't say like Aaron Hernandez.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Unitas isn't going to win a Super Bowl this year, but don't quote me on that.
Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Whoops. Steve McNair.
Well, it was quarterbacks drafted since 2013, so someone just grabbed the entire list and subtracted the guys that Colin likes and went, "This is it." Damn it. Not a good move.
By the way, they did take that out of the replay and the archived version of the show. So so Colin Cowherd is somebody that we might not be the only ones focused on. There are some great sites that collect his mishaps.
Well, that's right, because when that ended, did he go, "Hey guys, that graphic was all fucked up"? And then they're like looking side-eye at each other, because that's not even the biggest problem with that. The fact that he just announced dead guy has no chance to win the Super Bowl. Who's going to tell Colin,
Sorry, I thought we were going to read the new member, but then it was
Phil Riley is a new member. Thank you, Phil Riley. Much appreciated.
I was going to say, my joke wasn't that fucking bad, you fucking idiots.
No, I opened my mouth to say the name of the new member, and then it was gone. So I was like, I pulled what we like to call a cowherd. Let's go on to our next clip. I don't watch much tennis, but my understanding in tennis is that it's supposed to be quiet while they're playing. And unfortunately, at the Canadian Open over the weekend, it was not quiet. In fact, it was the opposite of quiet.
Oh, wow. Cotton Eye Joe just came on mid-rally.
Replay the point.
Oh, wow.
I mean, be professional here. You can't play through Cotton Eye Joe by the Rednecks.
Right. It's such a distraction that man in the umpire booth has a stern look on his face.
But why is Cotton Eye Joe even queued up at a tennis stadium?
I was wondering the same thing. Do they play that between matches?
I remember it used to be at Yankee Stadium back in the day. Maybe it still is, and that sort of makes sense. But
where's the fucking Gary Glitter and play me some mountain music by Alabama?
Yeah.
So, fun fact about me, I owned this disc, this CD, the Rednecks. And it had a couple.
By the way,
isn't it
Rednecks with 2 X's on the end?
I think just the 1 X, but it's definitely not spelled correctly. Yeah. But they had some bangers on there. I mean, if you want to talk about the best techno bluegrass band of all time, it might be them. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, and we're made worse because you just threw it out there.
Our next clip is one that Eric brought to us. So I don't know if you want to set up a former Heisman Trophy and also former detective from the police squad, also known as Detective Norbert.
Hello, Twitter world. This is yours truly.
So one of the things you'll notice about the Juice is he's getting so old. His eyes are pointing down like droopy dog. Okay. You'll notice that. And even though we now have the end of the Henry Ruggs III drama, he was the former first-round draft pick from Alabama to the Raiders, and then a horrible incident, speeding at 160 miles an hour, smashes into a woman, car bursts into flames, her car, she dies, her dog dies. It's terrible. He's going to prison for extended time, but the Juice isn't going to focus on that. He's going to use the sentencing of Henry Ruggs III to put it back on him about the injustice that he has received. Oh, my God.
Correct. The Juice always makes it about the Juice, which is why I really do love him.
Hey, X-World, it's me, yours truly.
He's saying X-World now. God damn it, I didn't pick up on that. That's
I had
amazing.
no idea when I watched the clip. Hey,
I didn't notice that either.
He's the only guy that says X.
I'm still saying Twitter. I'm still all right.
Yeah.
Well,
hello, X-World. It's me, Droopy Dog.
Hey, X-World, it's me, yours truly. Now, I know I went to college on a football scholarship, but somehow this math is not adding up to me. You're driving a car at roughly 160 miles an hour on a public street and end up killing a girl and her dog, and you get 3 to 10 years. You go to a hotel room that you're invited to retrieve your own personal stolen property I now have because it was ruled to be mine by the state of California.
Just saying.
And you get 9 to 33 years. Same courthouse, same city, same state. I don't know. somehow it just does not add up to me. I'm just saying.
I think it says same courthouse, same city, same state. Like, no, we had that at courthouse. I understood.
Right. The only difference is I killed somebody.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that a jury should have found that Nicole Brown was entitled to keep her head attached to her body. But I guess the juice felt differently, allegedly.
He did get screwed. Now, obviously, he did get screwed in that sentencing. But after you get away with murder, stop breaking the law.
Yeah.
There's no more law breaking for you. You just got away with murder. Now you got to coast.
Oh, that's fantastic. And he's still got a handsome smile, too. Look at him. Check out the juice. Nice teeth and everything.
If I ran into the juice on the golf course, I would 100% ask him for a selfie, and I'd give him a hug, and I'd share the picture with you guys and be like, yeah, but look, I met OJ. You know?
Well, I think we all would.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's come back around, and here's the thing. People that are my kids' age, they all watch The People versus OJ.
Mm-hmm.
They finish watching that, not understanding that whole case the way we did. So they're like, man, I can't believe that happened to OJ. They're like team OJ. A whole new generation of people love the juice, you know?
Well, I will say, because, I'm a Bills fan. I go to Bills games every year. His name has been up on the wall of fame in the stadium for decades. They never took it down.
No.
That has stayed up on that wall this entire time.
My wife went to USC, and when we'd go to the football games, his jersey's still there. Yeah, they're not taking it down. Yeah,
fuck it. They should bring him back for like a special juice day. You know,
he should start doing Hertz commercials again at this point.
Absolutely. No one gives a shit that he murdered those two people. Fuck those guys.
It was so long ago. Get over it, everyone. All right, let's move on to our next segment of the day.
I said, can you dig it?
I think so.
WATV. Now who are these talk shows? Just who are these talk shows?
Well, the Who Are These Talk Shows segment is going to be a little light for the next couple of weeks because apparently we launched a show commenting on broadcasters when The View is on like a month-long hiatus. But don't worry. Instead of a clip from The View, we have our clip 10, which is Roseanne Barr talking about The View and talking about Whoopi Goldberg with Carl's friend, Alex Stein. And this is from Roseanne's podcast.
Yeah, and I covered Roseanne's new podcast, I think on the Drew and Mike show. And it's a very weird show. The dynamic between her and her son, they don't really know each other very well at all. And also, I'll just set it up this way. Whenever Roseanne is on here, I want some of this. She is out of it. She looks like she's having a good time.
Disney, I was the only #1 show in 15 fucking years. They canceled me over a tweet, whereas Whoopi goes on every day going, kill the Jew.
I know, and she's a fake Jew.
But her name's Goldberg.
And that she's...
Did her son just say allegedly? And Whoopi goes on and says, kill the Jews. And he goes, allegedly. Either she says it or she doesn't.
About Disney, I was the only #1 show in 15 fucking years. They canceled me over a tweet, whereas Whoopi goes on every day going, kill the Jew.
I know, and she's a fake Jew.
But her name's Goldberg.
And that she's purposely picked that so people would think that she was Jewish.
I know, but she ain't no Jew. And
Did anyone think Whoopi was Jewish? All right, moving on.
I'm always like,
her last name's Goldberg.
Don't get me started on that fat ass bitch.
Well, and then,
she's wearing a size 22.
Well, what's the deal with Ted Danson and her? How did they? That couldn't have been.
I'm not even going to go there. I know, but I'm going.
Wait, you don't? What do you know? That was a legitimate relationship, was it not?
Yes, they were in love.
And he did blackface at a rose.
Well, she told him to.
Yeah, it was.
But I don't even think blackface.
I guess she's going
there.
that
big a deal, though. Like
I thought it was hilarious.
She thought it was funny, and then the next day she turns on him. She told him to do it and wrote the jokes, and the next day she fucking turns on him.
When he got
They're
backlash?
fucking psychos.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that she turned on
Yeah,
him.
she was leading that.
Oh, she was sitting there and laughing because they don't film it at Friars Truck, but they had the Friars, whatever it's called.
Friars Club. She was
Friars
laughing
Club.
her
But
ass
they were
off.
talking about how she was laughing the whole time. She had the best time.
About
I think that if it was just her alone, I might actually enjoy this. The other two I can't stand, but she's a train wreck. She's fun to watch.
Oh no, she's
I mean,
definitely fun to watch. Yes,
I think
Worth
she
checking
should
out.
still have a guest, and I have nothing negative to say about primetime Alex Stein, but yeah, her son should not. I mean, if he wants to like research guests and sit off mic, that's fine. But I don't think.
Which one's Alex? I don't know who the fuck these people are. Which one's Alex? The bald guy or the guy with hair?
That's
the very handsome gentleman who is
okay.
There he is. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, when she's ranting like that, I mean, that is, this is proof that she doesn't give a fuck about anything. And that's, to me, good for the world. That's great.
I agree. I want her tweeting whatever she wants to tweet on Ambien. I want her just going off, and we'll see how long she lasts on YouTube. And I'll just say real quick, Eric, just to let you know, I sat at the same table as this guy at Chrissy Mayer's wedding. We're pretty good buddies. So just FYI, just before you start doing all the Alex Stein bashing over there.
No, I didn't say anything more than I just wanted her alone.
Just look at him and think skinny Tucker Carlson. That's all you need to know about Alex.
Carl's censoring me. Fuck that shit and fuck that guy.
Vinny Saffetwap. That's a young Vinny Paulino right there. $2. Loving the new show, boys. Keep it up. And then I guess Vinny's watching too because he says, Hey, well, if you want to give $2, there was something in here that somebody wrote that I can't read that made me laugh. So good job. She's high as a shuli. I mean a kite, but that wasn't the word. See what I mean? M. Rocky says, worst episode ever. That is correct, sir. $5. Thank you very much for that. It's our first episode.
Yes.
First episode ever.
It's the best and worst episode ever.
All right, guys, this is the clip that I've been excited to play this entire time. I'm just going to set it up that way.
I'm so glad you're excited. Yeah, because
Yes.
Sherri Shepherd is a distinguished alumni from The View, and she has an afternoon show, which basically is Wendy Williams' show, which if only we'd been doing this show 3-4 years ago when Wendy Williams was still on. But we'll have to soldier on. And yeah, Sherri Shepherd had a segment called Can You Wig It? And I guess, Karl, you can wig it because you seem to have enjoyed it.
This is fantastic. I could watch this all day.
Our last one comes from a woman in Florida who thought her wig was secured enough for a slingshot ride at an amusement park. But she was wrong. Take a look.
Oh my God!
Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. That wig flew into the air and landed on somebody's windshield. Somebody in that parking lot is like, wait a minute, is it raining wigs?
Is there a writer's strike? Is that what happened just now? What the fuck was that joke?
It started off with a fucking Sanford and Son reference. No one got that.
Yeah.
Nobody got that there.
I would actually love it to see if there's a guy holding a cue card that says, what, is it raining wigs there? So that it's actually somebody's breaking the writer's strike so that she doesn't miss a joke like that.
Is that the ride that a couple years ago that Black Hodor came flying out of it? And
I don't
crashed?
know.
You know what I'm talking about?
There was like a 300-pound guy who shouldn't have been on a ride. It might be the same ride.
He was a giant. He was like 6'8", 350, and they couldn't even get the thing over his neck. And then the next thing you know, he comes whatever.
Let's find that video, Eric. That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find that one for next week, Eric. I was convinced the chick on the left was going to throw up, by the way. She keeps her hand on her face like that. But no, just some good old-fashioned wig flying fun.
I will say that prior to the wig starting to move, I couldn't tell who was wearing a wig. That's fantastic. Yes. I mean, if you think about it, they both look pretty good. I didn't know who had the actual wig on.
Well, Sherri Shepherd is certainly wearing a wig.
Yeah.
And
earlier in the segment, she refers to the fact that, hey, these are expensive. She points to her, and she was telling one of the other subjects of a video, like, you got to use these clips, and she took them out. So she's not pretending, at least.
Okay.
At least she's upfront about it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to go on record, and Christian does a lot of the prep for this show and preparing the clips that we look at. I can watch black women lose their wigs all day. So this is a recurring bit. I'm fine with that. You write that
somehow
down.
I feel like Cardiff has a new drop of Karl right there.
I can watch that. I can watch it all day. All right, let's head over to Kelly and Mark.
Yeah, so, some of us still think of this show as Regis and Kathy Lee, but that's a few generations removed from that. But yeah, so Kelly and Mark had Snooki from the Jersey Shore on to talk about her daughter's viewing habits.
Our daughter, who's 22 now, recently discovered the original
Jersey Shore.
seasons of Jersey Shore.
sorry.
And she's been watching. She can't get enough. She's like, have you ever heard of this show, Jersey Shore? And I'm like, what are you
All the
talking
kids are watching it
Yes.
now. Yeah.
It's like it's a whole new
And
generation.
it's scary
of kids.
because my daughter's on TikTok, and I try and
Ugh.
advise what she's watching, like make sure she's not watching anything bad.
Get
But
her
of
off
course,
of TikTok.
I know. But she sees old episodes of me, and she's like, "Mom, what are you doing here?" And it's like me drunk on the beach, like getting arrested.
Play acting.
I'm just like,
Mommy's play acting.
I said I'm acting.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Can't get enough. She's
F, marry, kill. What do you got?
I'm gonna fuck the dude.
I was gonna say I'm killing Snooki.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Kelly has been on that show for like 25 years. So yeah, I would definitely marry Kelly.
Yeah,
because
she's got some
she'll
money.
Take care of me. Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
take
she's got
care
some
of
money
me.
in the bank.
And yeah, and if I need to, I'll kill Snooki twice, I think. And yeah, I mean, look at Mark. I mean, he's in the tightest pair of pants you've ever seen. I'll
noticed.
close my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
look at that.
dude.
You can in that clip, you can actually see right where it's frozen a wad of dick right there. You can see it.
We're all getting too excited. Let me just slow things down. I'll read a couple super chats. The dude minds 89, $5. Love the new podcast. Love you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. And then Flashy Vic with £2. Did Mr. Blatt say he'll open his mouth for members?
It's true. I will.
think he did.
But
I
for
think he
£2,
did say that.
£2, I'm only going to spit. You have to give me at least 12 pounds if you want me to swallow.
Well, let's check the current exchange rate before we make any
That's a
rash
great point.
decisions.
But my question from that clip for both of you guys is which is worse parenting? Letting your kid watch Jersey Shore when you're Snooki, or being Snooki and having a child in the first place?
Ooh. That's a tough
I was
one
thinking
right there.
it right when you said it, allowing her to breed. I mean, isn't there, if you have, because it looks like she still has fetal alcohol syndrome. Her eyes are like 1 inch apart. So I don't know if that affects when she actually has children, if the kid has FAS, but I don't know. It's pretty dangerous in my opinion.
Who's going to be on tomorrow's reality shows if these Jersey Shoreans aren't breeding?
Hey, that's a show. Get the kids of these mongoloids and put them all together.
Fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? MTV's coming back, baby.
Well, another favorite on our show is going to be Piers Morgan. Now, I know things didn't really work out for him on CNN here in the States, but he's still a wildly popular and respected broadcaster in the UK. And I have to say, I really like the way he handles his guests. But in this clip, our 13th clip, keep in mind that this show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored. So let's see how Piers responds to a guest who he feels like.
And then there's No More Royals, who did a banner drop chanting, can I swear? I just did. The king, feed the hungry, because that's what we want to talk about, right?
You know what?
This
You know
is
what, Riz? For a
outrageous.
very-
They've done this.
You know what, Riz? For a bright young woman who's getting a very good, expensive education, you do behave like a complete foul-mouthed idiot. You don't do yourself any favours. Why do you think coming on a show like this and just repeatedly using the F word, why do you think that makes you look any better?
Yeah, I did apologize for that.
You've
I
done
did
it 3
apologize for that
times.
in advance, but
3 times.
that was what we said.
3 times.
Yeah, F the king. Yeah, I'm happy to censor it. F the king.
You can pause it
feed the
there.
hungry. That's
Yeah. So the show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored, but I guess the word uncensored means something different in the UK because they did. But I guess it's surprising.
Real quick, Chris, I got to tell this anecdote since you just said that. I went to this punk rock festival called Anarchy Camp. And when you drive into Anarchy Camp in this RV that we had, the police go through the RV and check every nook and cranny for drugs and anything that might be fun. And there's a limit on how much beer you could bring in. And they check you every time you walk into the festival and back out again. It's fucking Anarchy Camp.
Yeah. No,
False advertising.
That sounds like the anarchy that the Sex Pistols sang about.
It's definitely, yeah, for sure. Let's not have too much fun over here, guys.
So he's all wound up about the fucking F word. Wow, who's this other asshole? Is that Gavin from Bush? What the fuck?
Yeah, he's on a kick about people who are protesting, I guess, oil usage in the UK, and they do that by stopping traffic, which means, of course, that people have to sit in their car longer and use more oil. So, I might agree with Piers on some of these points, but sure. I think the big surprise was he referred to the guest that we saw. He said that you're a bright young woman. So look, we learn something every day.
Well, I have to say, because you the way you introduced this, when Piers Morgan took over for Larry King and complained about guns every night on U.S. television, I was a bit annoyed with him.
Yeah.
But ever since he's been calling out Meghan Markle and like exposing her for what she really is, I'm like, I kind of like this guy now. He's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the fact that he's apparently motivated because he tried to fuck her years ago and she wasn't interested, it makes me like him even more. I like when things get personal,
So it's kind of like the dynamic between Stuttering John and Elisa Jordana. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Almost exactly.
I'm going to slip one in here real quick, gentlemen, because Eric sent this over right before the show. We might need a new jingle for this. Eric Zane laughs at tragedy for some reason because he sent this over. He seemed to really enjoy this story from CBS.
Yeah, he LOL'd.
Okay, let's see if everyone else enjoys it as much as he did.
Enjoying her birthday, floating on the Jefferson River with two of her best friends, when a group of otters attacked them without warning. Jeff Ewald, executive director of Zoo Montana, says this type of attack from river otters is very rare.
Hold it. Look at how cute those fucking things are. I'm not
so cute.
I love them forever. If they come up baring their teeth, I'm just gonna try to snuggle them, for God's sake.
I'll tell you another quick anecdote. We were down at our new house in Florida, and right on the canal there in our backyard, there's this giant piece of shit. And so I asked the guy who knows the area really well, I go, what kind of animal would shit like that? He goes, that's probably an otter shit. I was like, yeah! That's so exciting!
Yeah,
Otters live back here. That's amazing.
They're typically a pretty reclusive animal. It's why you don't see them that often when you're out and about. The only time you're going to see them get aggressive is if they're protecting young. So if the parents feel like you're getting too close to their young, they're going to obviously do everything they can to protect them.
Royce was able to fight off the otters enough to swim to shore where the animals left her alone. But she and her friends were separated on different sides of the river. One was stranded on a rock in the water, still fending off the attacking animals. Ewald says if you do find yourself a target of an otter attack, here's what you should do.
The best thing to do is fight back, really. You're bigger, but you got to remember, otters, they're crafty, they're smart, but...
He goes, the best you can do is fight back. Yeah, I would think so, sir. Thank you for that advice. I appreciate it.
They seem like you could get a hold of their tail and bash them together. It seems like to some degree, I think I would fare pretty well against a number of those motherfuckers.
His face ain't pretty no more.
Oh, I would fuck up. I mean, I would be happy to see it, but the second it starts chewing my fucking face off, I'm gonna slaughter that fucker.
Judging from all the Looney Tunes that I've seen, those are those kind of tails where you can pick them up and just swing them in the air and then be able to hit another one.
Precisely.
So if you're able to get out of that water, that in most cases are going to help you obviously ward off any kind of attack like that. So just be mindful, move out of their way, and just move on.
The women had one working phone between them, and they were able to contact authorities. But due to the remote location of the attack, it was difficult for rescuers to locate the group. It was a little less than an hour until they arrived, and Royce said she was on the verge of passing out from her relief in her Facebook post once help was there. She was then flown to Bozeman-Dayton, where her friends were taken and treated as well. The women all received several rounds of rabies and tetanus shots, and Royce was stitched up and came in for facial surgery.
Look at her! Wow, looks like fucking Chris Draper.
I can say that I'm really glad that I saw that clip this week and not last week when I sent my kids to zoo camp at the LA Zoo and they got up close with the animals. I might have been like, let's skip the visit to the otter tank.
Hey, where are you kids going? We're going to zoo camp, Dad. Okay. See you in a couple weeks.
Why'd you take my weed? Yeah, why did you take my weed at zoo camp?
You seem like you'd be a pushover as a father. I like that about you.
100%.
Kids have a lot of fun, I would imagine. CMOS 4044 with €5. Monday Creep Off, Tuesday Broadcasters, Wednesday Podcast, Thursday Socials, Saturday Sunday Podcast, 5 shows a week. That's a daily show. Congrats, Karl. You've gone daily.
It's about time.
It's about time. People need more of me. Rumpled Trench Coat, a Columbo podcast, $5. What is that piece of ish neat me? Prevents it stuttering John. What is that piece of ish neat me?
I assume near me. So like he didn't want to write out shit, and then neat is probably a typo. So it's supposed to say, what is that piece of shit near me? But I don't get the prevents stuttering John. But
it could also, I could be saying things I don't even know that I'm saying. That happens quite often.
Yeah.
Super chats. They get a little clever sometimes.
Yeah, the Proud Boys just marched in formation around Rochester because of what you said.
Oh, fuck, I knew it.
You remember when Brett Favre did that on like Cameo or some shit? There was I gotta dig that one up. Jesus.
Yeah, that might be a broadcasting hall of fame, even if it was only on Cameo. But good times there.
And then we got Ice Wallow Cum. All right, so there's a good example with 5 pounds. Karl, you pecka sucker? Oh, God. All right. Booyah, Karl. I get it.
Just said.
I get it. Okay. All right, moving on to the next feature here.
Yeah, we're moving on to pundits.
Folks out there need to listen up, mainly because here comes Who Are These Pundits?
We're going to only have one clip in this segment, but it's a little bit of a long one, and it's kind of an Inception style clip because we're going to react to a clip where the hosts are reacting to another clip. But I think it's all worth it, and it's a perfect summation of what this show can be. So you're going to see a clip from the Young Turks. They're a very far left broadcasting outlet, and maybe some of you agree with what they have to say. And you're going to hear a clip from Alex Jones, which I know from comments I made on Who Are These Podcasts, a lot of you agree with what Alex Jones has to say. And I think everybody's going to agree it's a funny clip. The only real loser, I think, is comedy when we get to Cenk Uyghur's improv skills.
But they do get Alex Jones bad on this one. Wow, I don't know if he's going to know what hit him after this sick burn right here.
It's a sick guy.
All right, so let's play that back one more time to see the living creature that basically stole the show during Trump's interview with Eric Bolling.
Oh, there's a fly on his face.
A fly landed on his face for
So
maybe
this
a second.
kind of stuff happens time to time,
Oh my
and while
God!
it's fun to like joke around about it, you know this has happened with like the little gnats in the studio with us, right?
No way. It only happens to the bad guys. In fact, so look, a fly lands on him. What's the guy supposed to do? But no, apparently it means something very awful. That's why I want to go to the Alex Jones. We have a lot of videos for you guys on flies. This is very important.
Very important.
Very important. I want to go to the Alex Jones video because he's going to tell us its import. Let's listen in.
Folks, let me just tell you something. If the media wants to go with this, that's fine. There are dozens of videos and photos of Obama having flies land on him indoors at all times of year, and he'll be next to 100 people and no one has flies on him. Hillary reportedly, I was told people around her that they think she's demon possessed, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, okay?
Now here's my question for you, and I'll let it play a little bit longer. But why would the flies go anywhere near these lizard people? It seems very counterintuitive to me. I think you'd want to avoid Hillary.
The lizards would want to eat the fucking
right. You think they'd want to avoid Hillary Clinton and Obama, but all right.
I also want to know who are the people in Hillary Clinton's orbit that are confiding in Alex Jones. Is it Anthony Weiner's ex-wife is like, Alex, I gotta let you know. I'm pretty sure she's demon possessed. I knew it.
He's got a lot of moles on the inside of this one, I'm sure.
That's why when I see her, when kids are by her, I actually get scared myself for the child. That big rubber face and that. This woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. She is a demon. This is biblical. She's going to launch a nuclear war.
Yeah. Okay, look, I don't know. I can't help but laugh as I've heard that clip 3 times, and every time I literally LOL. So he's just gonna say it, guys. He's just gonna say it.
You should just say it.
She's possessed by demons. That's why flies landed on her and Obama. And you just saw it with Trump. Oh my God, Alex Jones. It turns out Donald Trump is possessed by demons. Oh my, oof. I can't wait for Alex Jones to tell his audience this. I'm sure he's gonna be right on top of it, because if Alex Jones is one thing, he's principled.
First of all, he sounds drunk. I mean, he actually sounds intoxicated. And he should be selling like fucking Rita's water ice on the goddamn shore. That's what I think this guy should be doing. And then all of this, all the time that they've spent on it, and no one's really said anything funny. It's all a big, it's like in the writers' meeting, where's the actual joke in all of this? You know?
Well, Eric,
when you say
the writers are on strike, so
when you have to say that I LOL'd every time, or after watching it, it's like I just noticed you didn't LOL that time. So what do you mean? I think you're lying.
Fuck. Jesus.
Yeah, but
pretty sick burn though. I don't know if Alex Jones has recovered. I'm not sure. He's like sue me for $1 trillion. That's fine. I just can't have Senk burning me like this. This is terrible.
I think that we're gonna probably have the opportunity to share a lot of clips of the Young Turks and their network.
Listen, we want people to watch the show, Christian.
Yeah.
Please, let's not. That's not a good way to tease future episodes with the Young Turks.
Well, somebody in the chat, like the chick who was talking, said that her ass was juicy. So
okay,
that might be the reason. That might be the reason enough to use it.
Mongo with $20. I don't know why everyone says Eric Zane sucks. He's not that bad. That's what I've been trying to say. I even tweeted that earlier today.
Carl's been saying that to me for 2 weeks, and I don't see it yet, but I might come around.
He's not that bad.
That's going right on Eric's LinkedIn. I guarantee you'll see it on his profile page.
God damn it. He's not that bad.
According to Mongo. Thank you for the $20, Mongo.
Thank you, Mongo. That's very sweet of you.
And guys, let's not all start super chatting just to shut on Eric Zane. Let's not do that.
Yeah. That would be very rude. And,
that'd be very rude.
We know that the YouTube audience is very polite.
Very sensitive. Very sensitive.
Hopefully they're ready for who are these politics?
A lot of people talking about Christian and Karl's segment, making it great with who are these politics?
Now that's some production right there. What do you think about that imaging, Zane?
I like the time. The other ones are like 5 minutes long. That was excellent.
That one's
short. Well, the chat really likes that sweeper didn't mention Eric's name. So
God damn it. It's already begun.
So our first clip here, I was thinking about, I guess it's clip 18. I was thinking about how I'm going to really miss both of these people in this clip. Chuck Todd's retiring from Meet the Press. And Mike Pence is like weeks away from retiring from politics. But this clip that we have, it's from the weekend, and it's kind of a masterclass in, you have the one guy who tries not to let you get away with refusing to answer a question, but no matter what, the other guy's not really going to give you the answer you want. And I think the real star of this clip for our visual audience is the pen. You'll see that Chuck Todd has a pen here. So I think that's my takeaway from all of this.
Do you consider yourself a MAGA Republican?
I'm incredibly proud of what we did in the Trump-Pence administration for 4 years, and you better believe it. In those 4 years, after 8 years of the slowest recovery since the Great Depression, 8 years of under Barack Obama and Joe Biden that saw military cuts that hollowed out our military, 8 years of liberals on our courts. Under the Trump-Pence administration, with the support of MAGA Americans, we literally did make.
What a dynamic personality. Jesus Christ, Pence. You're putting everyone to sleep. All right, sorry.
But he is answering the question. He's answering, yes, I am. I think he is, isn't he?
He's literally said, I'm proud of what we did in those 4 years when he was in the administration that he's describing, he's asking about, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hear the word yes, though, but, and neither does Chuck. Neither Chuck nor his pen seem to hear the word yes.
Make America great
Do you feel
again
like you're a MAGA Republican or not?
That pandemic struck. And Look, I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order. I've always said that. Yeah. People who know me know those are my values, those are my ideals, and I really believe that the agenda that I've always been about, that I'm looking forward to taking to that debate stage, is the agenda that'll bring this country all the way back.
And believe it or not.
All right.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be some type of gotcha. Now, this was the vice president for the president who made up Make America Great Again. So I'm not sure how this is a gotcha in any way. And can I just say, is it crazy? It's one of the least controversial slogans before all of a sudden the left made it seem like it was this racist thing. It's one of the least controversial slogans I've ever heard from a campaign before. Make America Great Again. It's like, who's against that? I'm confused.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But it just works because when I say MAGA, we all have a picture the same way when the other side says woke. You know, I mean,
woke.
Everybody's got the fucking word.
Hey, Eric, we talked about it. This is a non-woke show. Come on.
Yeah. Don't go triggering people with that woke talk over there. Oh, that question is so obnoxious, though.
Yeah.
Todd
Totally.
sucks.
He does, but I'm sure whoever they replace him with is going to be just as talented, and I'm sure it'll be another white guy.
Well,
yeah.
And you know, I think he should have. I mean, once he didn't answer it, rather than interrupting him and fidgeting in his fucking chair, he should have just let him say what he wanted and say, "Okay, so you're not really answering," and then move on instead of acting like an asshole while he's trying to talk.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think the great Tim Russert would have just turned his head and started watching the Bills game and ignored whatever Pence was saying. So,
also, I would have done that too. I also would have done that.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good strategy.
So we've got one more political clip, and here two of our great minds, Kamala Harris, basically explains to Al Sharpton that all of her supporters are kind of losers. So give a listen and hear her explanation.
Are you concerned about turnout, especially among blacks in the election? You hear these polls. Are you concerned about that?
I am always concerned about turnout, whatever election we are talking about. Because let us, in a moment where we thank everybody for what they did to turn out in 2020, appreciate that it takes an effort to turn out to vote. People have things to do. They have obligations. If somebody's working 2 or 3 jobs, if they've got, you know, a bunch of children and they need to worry about who's going to take care of the kids while they go vote, or people have obligations every day. But the people who, especially the people who have most at stake in the election, are often the people who least have the luxury of taking time out of their day to do something that is not an immediate obligation.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't it sound like she's giving them an out right there? She's like, no, I hope they vote for me, but you know, if they're busy that day, they got better things to do. I get it.
Look, I know that the people who would vote for me have too many kids and they're way too busy to vote. It's fine. We get it. You're not going to come out. It's all right. You know, we've got a plan if you don't show up to vote anyway. So don't you worry about us.
I always struggle when they talk too much. Like when she's answering there's no way she's going to do anything like a brief answer. It's always like she's been trained just to go on and on and on with horrible details and not really, and just kind of dance around it. It's one of my big pet peeves.
Well, I have to say, Kamala Harris might not be the world's greatest vice president, but she is up there. And this is my favorite. I just want to hear her talking about the conflict in Ukraine. This is my favorite thing that she has said.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
Is there anything in the Constitution we can kick her out of office for that sentence right there?
That was less profound than fucking green eggs and ham.
No shit.
Jesus Christ. Can you back up to the beginning of that clip and look at how little Sharpton has become? I think he's like 3'2". He's just he's shrinking. What a little buddy there. Oh my God.
He used to look like 1998 Tracy Morgan, you know, and now it's
I thought Jim Henson had passed away, but he's still building these things. Huh? Wow.
But actually, Sharpton is the reason why I was so excited to come across this clip, because I literally had no idea that he was still broadcasting. And maybe some people in our audience didn't even know that MSNBC was still broadcasting. But the fact that Sharpton is still on, it sets me up for possibly at least two of my top 10 favorite clips of all time for our Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Might have happened a long, long time ago, but let's discuss with Karl and Christian who are these moments in broadcasting history.
Now, some of you might have actually heard, especially this first one. I think Jim Norton and Sam Roberts used to use it as this montage at the beginning of the show, but it's still great. Both of these clips, I think, speak for themselves. So let's just dive into clip 20, where Al is trying to give a tribute to a dear friend of his.
Yeah, this is a classic.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT. And the next time you get a black woman and a beagle confused, remember this.
All right. He literally pulled the thing. The Simpsons writers came up with this for Homer, who's supposed to be the biggest buffoon in the world. And Al Sharpton literally just did that.
I'm a college man. I won't need my high school diploma anymore. I am the smart. I am the smart. I am the smart. I am the smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
At least Homer noticed and he fucked it up.
Yeah. He did correct it quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Max Brengel with $2 says her administration is why people are working 3 jobs. Boom! Take that, Harris. Damn.
Roasted.
Yeah.
And our final Broadcasting Hall of Fame clip is it was a regular drop that we would use on the old Dennis Miller show. Once this happened, you would probably hear this 3-4 times a week. It is Al Sharpton maybe having a mishap with the teleprompter.
And I do want to say, I've heard this clip a bunch of times. They play it on No Agenda a lot too. I've been there. This is where you say the wrong thing, you lose your place, and your mouth just starts making fucking noises because you're just trying to get through it. This actually makes me tense up inside.
Yeah, no, it might have happened to me at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I get it.
Tonight is the measure of whether the country begins in the state of Wisconsin a national drive to push back, or whether we have more to go to build a movement of resistance. But resist we must, and we will much. About that, be committed.
That's a rough one right there.
Damn. Wow. It was like when a person, it takes a long time for them to fall when they start to trip, you know, and it's like slow motion. That's fantastic.
Oh, I guess I pronounced Vinny's name wrong before when he gave us a $2 super chat. Here's another one from Dinny Safatwap. Vinny Safatwap.
Did you say Dinny the first time?
Vinny Safatwap. Don't mispronounce my name. It's rude. You're right. That is rude. I apologize.
Is that a sock account from Tukey? It seems like it. The narrative there fits into what Tukey's pitching.
Interesting. Interesting. Can I get a forensic accountant on this, please? I do need to know what's going on there. Guys, I have a kicker for us today. I have a little bonus, and I'm taking credit for it, but actually this came in from one Eric Zane. And we have a little local news.
Others imitate it. We appreciate it.
I can let you set this one up, Eric, since you found it.
Thank you, Karl. Over the weekend, there was a air show in Michigan, and the story is a regular citizen actually had a 1981 MiG, like a Russian MiG. Mm-hmm. And he and his buddy were in the air show, the pilot and co-pilot. This is the plane that was in Top Gun, you know, the first one. So they're flying it through, and they fuck it up, and they hit eject, and the two dudes fly out of the fucking thing, and it goes smashing down. Unbelievably misses everything, even though it's a residential area, and the plane blows up. News anchor is getting the lady on the street report who was actually there watching the air show. What was the two things to pay attention to? There's someone who tries to sneak into the shot. Watch for that early. And the lady, it might be the dumbest person ever, because though all the clues indicate that a huge tragedy has occurred, she doesn't quite understand until like someone tells her.
And I have to say that local news does this all the time. They find the dumbest people, and that's always what they lead with. It's a smart move.
And I think she has a speech impediment where her tongue comes out on the effing.
All right, let's check this out.
I had to say, we hear like the loudest noise. It did not sound normal. We knew right away something was wrong. So we jump up, and there are two guys right in front of us in parachutes. We could have touched them through the balcony window. Like the balcony, we could have reached over and touched them. So they're floating down, one landed in the water and the other one near the bushes. We didn't realize that it wasn't part of the air show. So we thought it was part of the air show. It wasn't until 2 minutes later when the police and all the boats off the lake all made their way over to the people who had parachuted out that we realized this is not a show.
What's crazy, if this woman was living in Ukraine, she would think it was an air show. I guess that was.
And by the
Holy
way,
shit!
By the way, I think that lady there is showing some toe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Wow, I'm pretty sure there's some toe. We have a full-on toe alert there.
Now we know how she got the job.
Wow. So was one of the airplanes smashing into the ground, narrowly avoiding an apartment building.
I mean, you guys have probably been to air shows. I think that's just the best air show ever.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh my God. All right.
Geese comes in with $2. This podcast needs 100% more potato. Let Vinny on. Oh, you zagged. I thought you were going to zig. Well done, Geese. Well, that's it, guys. I think we've done everything we can do when it comes to talking about broadcasters for this Tuesday afternoon.
A lot of good things.
I think we know who they are now, and now we don't know what to do with that information. So
I don't think we know who they are yet. I think we still have to get to the bottom of who are these broadcasters. That's just my hot take on it.
All right.
With all the fantastic preparation that you've done in between each segment, Karl, please tell me you have a fantastic way to wind the show up.
Well, I do. It's our old intro theme I was going to play as an outro theme. But before I do that, let me just plug something real quick. On this very channel, not on this channel. On Stuttering John's channel at 6 o'clock today, I will be on with Stuttering John. So please tune in for that. That's mine and John's round 2 of our debate.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
As time has passed, are you friendly now with each other?
Well,
are you becoming, I don't know, is a relationship blossoming there?
No. Now, John and I have had cordial conversations with each other on the phone where John wants to get into certain things. And I say, no, save it for the air because I'm not talking to you about this unless we have an audience listening to it.
Okay, fair.
But will you feed my cats when I'm out of town?
Right, I know, precisely. So, no, I still have some things I need to work out with John. I'm looking forward to talking to him.
No, don't work it out.
No, we have some things we need to work through, I think.
Therapy session,
Eric.
yeah.
Also, if you want to see us live with Eric Zane, the rest of these podcast crew, the Drew and Mike show, we will be in Detroit, Michigan on September 15th. Go to WATPlive.com is where you can get your tickets for that. You know, I should probably just have this thing running if I was smart. If I was ever in marketing, I would know to promote the other things that I'm doing. Christian Bladt, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can, I'm going to be like the Juice and let you know that I can be found on X, Threads, and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And of course, after your big sit down with Stuttering John, you can find me tonight on Compound Media at 7 Eastern on that Jameson show. And I'll also be on Why You Laughing with Blind Mike Geary tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Colin Quinn. So check out all of that.
Very good. And Eric Zane.
I just want to mention the Patreon, which you can sign up for my Patreon for 7 days free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You do have to put in a payment form in there, but cancel it right when you start. I don't give a shit. And you get the 7 days. But I'm hoping you'll like it and you'll continue on. I have a show called Who Are These Zanes, Karl?
Yes.
Where I review all my old shitty air checks, which means everything prior to today. We review and rip myself a new asshole with my partner, Ben Glaze.
You will be getting a cease and desist from my attorneys very soon.
That's okay. That's okay. Patreon.com/Eric Zane.
So,
Very
Karl,
good.
when we did our test show, I had a test sign off. I've tweaked it a little bit. So let's see if this is a great way to end the show. That's all the time for today. But remember, every mic is a hot mic, but not every Karl is a hot Karl. We'll see you next week.
Who are these broadcasts are doing the work for people?
The mainstream media makes tremendous mistakes. Let's find out.
Oh, come on. It's no joke. We are doing it. We are having fun. Or these broadcasters are making sure you get the narrative.
Karl and Christian both are doing a tremendous job. Probably the best job anyone has ever done. Lots of people are saying that the best broadcast there ever was. Who are these broadcasters is on your site to observe and report.
Who are these broadcasters? With Karl and Christian, you know, folks, it's really no different than a police officer running to the scene of a crime or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's what they do.